Hello, my name is John Goodbody. This is my final case study project for EDUS 607 for the fall 2018 semester at Virginia Commonwealth University. My case study I was given was case study number 15. Just some background information. My student was a 7-year-old named David. The main teacher that they were focusing on was Miss Wright. She was a first grade teacher. The classroom settings they kind of focused in was a general education classroom and as well as at recess. Some of the behaviors they kind of mentioned was acting out when things aren't going his way, cheating during games, acting out aggressively with threats or being physical towards classmates and peers, threats to teacher, and work avoidance behaviors. Some brief interventions that they included were some removal from classroom instruction, being sent to an administrator, and parental contact. Just a brief breakdown of the behaviors. During games with classmates, David was not handling losing well. He would start bending the rules to help him. He would act out physically or threatening those playing with him. The reason he provided for doing these behaviors, and he said he was being bugged. Group activities. During group activities, he would show avoidance towards joining the group. He would be interrupting the group from the outside if he was listening when he was wandering around the classroom. And the reasoning he would not join the group on some occasions would be that this is stupid or I don't have to. Brief breakdown of behaviors continued. At recess, he wouldn't join the group. When he would re-enter the classroom, he would enter very angrily and aggressive towards teacher, peers, and school equipment and classroom furniture. He would also threaten to harm some of the teachers, whether they were out at recess or the teacher in the classroom with him, and pretty much saying that he was being bossed around at the playground and he didn't like that. Some of Miss Wright's communication with parents. She felt that he was a handful in class, but he, was a bright young man. So she would contact the parents and, start trying to work with them and coming up with strategies to help his behavior as well as help him garner a little bit more interest in school. But this was to no avail, as the parents would say that they would expect their kids to behave in this manner, and they weren't going to work with him, and so eventually she kind of just gave up by contacting the parents. Other staff interactions and responses towards David. They observed David not having many friends and felt other children may have feared him. They also would feel that he would be argumentative towards them, and so they would tend to ignore him or just avoid interacting with David unless they had to, whether he was being physical and they had to remove him from that situation or from his peers, but faculty and staff at the same time weren't doing the right things to help provide a situation to help David, learn and get, through these behaviors. Some obstacles for David, parental support, influences from outside of school environments, his social development, the developed opinions of him from faculty, staff, and the peers, that would, cause biases as people, they would hear the stories and probably not want to work with him or help him because of the situations he had been in the past. His motivation and self-efficiency, obviously he, wasn't motivated to do written assignments, and he would sometimes want to be motivated to do his fill-in-the-blank assignments that he enjoyed, and this probably played a role with him not feeling confident in the subject material. His emotional and cognitive development was also an obstacle for David, and obviously some social, cultural struggles, and a lot of this was associated with behaviorism. Some classroom supports and outside supports that could help David. A definite child study. I'm surprised that wasn't mentioned in the case study. And, obviously there might be a need for special education services. Obviously a potential behavior intervention plan. That way there's things in place. Obviously that would take place after a functional behavioral assessment. David likes fill-in-the-blank assignments. There could be a possibility for modification of assignments. provide choices with limitations on assignments, like joining group, recess options, etc. And you can probably obviously link that to positive reinforcement. In the case study, it really didn't mention any positives or things that David was interested in, or things that he liked. Obviously, a teacher could find these things and figure these things out by communicating with David and maybe utilizing it to their advantage. That's just a brief rundown of the case study 15. Thank you so much for listening, and this was a great semester. Thank you.